We begin today with eyes on both the Middle East and the White House as President Trump weighs his next moves in the ever-growing conflict there, mainly whether or not to involve U.S. bombers in this fight. The U.S. is one of 3 remaining countries with strategic bombing capabilities and the only one allied with Israel, meaning Israel's only hope of taking out the remaining nuclear enrichment sites buried deep in the mountains of Iran is the Air Force's B-2 bomber and bunker buster bomb. President Trump has demanded unconditional surrender from the Iranians. Iran's supreme leader on X responding, saying they will never surrender. But President Trump says they are trying to negotiate, speaking from the South Lawn earlier this morning.
You don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago?
We do have live team coverage of this ever-developing story. NewsNation's Robert Sherman live in Tel Aviv, on the latest on the ground with Kelly Meyer live at the White House. So, Robert, we start with you. Tensions are certainly running high there.
Yeah, in all capacities here, Nicole. And from what we've seen over the last 24 hours, the number of barrages that have been fired by Iran, including at our position here, causing millions of people to run directly into the shelters. But you also have the strikes that Israel has been carrying out on Iran as well. And underneath all of this is the big question. Is the United States coming or are they not? Will they be aiding the Israelis or not? This is a conversation that is dominating the talks in cafes and the sit-downs in restaurants here across Israel. And this is something that the Iranian leadership is warning the United States against. Supreme Leader Khamenei giving a highly anticipated address today in which he issued this stern warning to President Trump and the U.S. Take a listen.
Of course, it was suspected from the beginning that America was also involved in this malicious move of the Zionist regime. But with these recent statements that they are making, this suspicion is being strengthened day by day. The damage America will suffer if it makes a military intervention in this field will undoubtedly be irreparable.
The tough talk and threatening rhetoric not keeping the Israelis away from their objectives here. What we have seen from them over the last few hours, continuing to strike deep in the heart of Iran, focusing on these ballistic missile sites, manufacturing facilities for their missiles, but also in uranium enrichment facilities, which the UN watchdog group has also corroborated that Israel has struck in multiple capacities here. And Israel saying publicly that they are in close contact with the Americans, but no matter what, they intend to continue pushing forward until the Iranian threat is eliminated on both of these fronts here. Nicole.
And U.S. officials saying they are closing the embassy in Jerusalem. So what does that mean for Americans who are still there?
Yeah, they're monitoring the security situation, and the fear is that we're reaching a tense, dangerous position, which is why that embassy is going to be closed today through Friday. There's also this statement that came out from the U.S. Embassy. I want to read this for you. It says, and I quote, "We have no announcement about assisting private U.S. citizens to depart at this time. The Department of State is always planning for contingencies to assist with private U.S. citizens' departure from crisis areas." It is very difficult for people to get out of Israel at this juncture. The airspace is still closed. You can go through the land crossings to Jordan and Egypt, though that is a difficult route. Some are making the decision to do what you're seeing on your screen here, taking the maritime corridor towards Cyprus in order to get out of Israel if it comes to that. But then we've also been meeting Americans here who think that it might just be too dangerous to leave, and it may be best to just ride this out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.